Hello and welcome to All About You with OMG and Friends, where we talk about the things that you think about. I am your host, OMG, along with my co-host,
Daydream.
And your wellness warrior, Susan Ned.
We'd like to thank you for joining us today. We ask that you please join in on the conversation, where your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions help drive the conversation. I did want to mention that we are now on a new day and at a new time. We're now on Wednesday at 5 as opposed to Tuesdays from 12 until 1. So be sure to tune in. Today our topic is the alpha female. Let me just say this, just for FYI purposes, she does exist. The study of man and his rise to the perceived top of the food, power, and intelligence chain reaches into history's archives as well as beyond. The evolution of man is a mirror into which a vast number of man-hours and resources have been invested. Among these studies is the examination of the psychology and the behavior of the alpha male. But what about his female counterpart? Now, some say she's only been captured in a mere snapshot, a still image. Others say that she's only a legend, an enigma, like the unicorn or the mermaid. Until recently, the concept of alpha female barely existed. Strange, considering that this remarkable woman is as old as the alpha male himself. Now, if only for a moment, let's put aside history for her story. And please allow me to reintroduce myself to you again. I am OMG, and I am an alpha female. And I would like to introduce you to the stuff that legends are made of, the alpha females that are my co-hosts.
Daydream.
Your wellness warrior, Susan Ned.
So we're going to talk about that hashtag alpha female. I think we have a caller on the air, Clara.
Yes,
Welcome.
Clara is an alpha female, definitely an alpha female, capital A. Hey, friend, how are you?
Hi.
So, what do you think about the alpha female, being as you've been one all these years?
I sometimes feel that it's good, and sometimes I feel that we become very judged being a very strong female.
Absolutely.
We're labeled as the alpha. And it's not about control. It's about having the knowledge to know when to hold and fold and know when to stand. And I think we assert ourselves because we're just wired like that. But we can be misunderstood as controlling, always want to be in the center, always want to take the lead or take the bull by the horn. I don't know if that's good or bad because I came from a very long line of women that their voices were heard a lot more than the male. And in this generation, I don't know if people push back on that and feel like we're just aggressive. And being an African American, I am biracial, but I gravitated more with growing up being an African American female. I feel that we're judged that we're just boisterous, always taking control and never letting our male counterpart, our alpha male, if he even is that. It doesn't matter who is, as long as someone can get the job done.
As long as it takes,
Right,
that's a very good point. You brought up a
Right.
very good couple of points, actually. Again, we get misconstrued because we are so strong.
Right.
Absolutely.
You're the angry black woman.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm the hot-headed Latina. Seriously, that's what it
what
is.
they
That's what we
say.
look at. That's how we're looked at.
And so it actually makes us kind of step down just a tad. But like you said, Clara, the alpha female, she's strong, she's confident, she knows who she is. But bear in mind, slavery helped create the alpha black female.
There you go. We couldn't help
Right.
it.
We had no
We
choice.
couldn't help it, yeah.
So where there was no man, you had to come in and step in and make decisions. You had to be mom, you had to be dad, or even if dads are away traveling or out of the country or something like that,
Right, you had to be the head
you
of
still
household.
had to be the head of household. So we come from a different background and are judged on a different premise than for our counterparts that would be white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Now they in turn would just be viewed as an alpha female, but no aggression, no confrontational situation. But when it's us or Latino,
Right.
we've got to be angry and black and all of that. So Clara, I think you brought up a very
Thank
good
you
point.
so much.
Thank you for that call.
And it's funny too what you said. My grandmother, my mom told stories and still does many, many times about how my grandmother was considered the head of household, not because there were no men there, but the men were held charged to go in the fields
They're
because she was
hunter-gatherer.
right.
They go out to
They were
hunt.
sharecroppers,
Right.
and so my mom said that people in the community looked towards my grandmother as the head of household to make those tough decisions, and she knew what was going on both sides of the road.
Well, you know,
Right.
most families are
Yeah,
run by
but
matriarchs.
Mhm.
All of us have that grandmother,
Well,
that
but-
big mama.
Right, but we also have to think about that's because the time was the men went outside of the home to make the money.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the women stayed at home. They were homemakers, housewives, and had to run it there
Mm-hmm.
until he came home.
Exactly.
You know, and now we're at the point where, you know, times changed and he's outside the home making money. She's outside the home making money.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she still has to run the house
Exactly.
Absolutely.
from
Exactly.
outside the home. You know, that's just what we've always been expected to do. Even when you're at work, you still got to, you know, get home and cook dinner and take care of the kids and everything else. He comes home and he gets a hot meal and then, you know, quiet time while the kids are, you know, being bathed and everything else.
Well, you know, I think the alpha woman started with Eve.
True, she
Mhm.
made her
Was
own
she not
decision.
alpha? Did she not go?
She did her own thing,
Right.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
And Adam followed.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we're just following a historical, biblical principle
Right.
where we're just alpha.
See, and something else that Clara said was about you were commenting about, you know, wanting to be the center of attention or not always or however that you put it.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I've never wanted to be the center of attention.
No.
I liked the attention, but I didn't know I was an alpha until, you know, I was in college.
Mhm.
And even then it still didn't hit me, you know. But I didn't like the attention. I didn't want, you know, I was always a wallflower, that type of thing, you know, the nerd. I was always had my face in a book. And, you know, my parents were strict. We weren't allowed to, you know, have friends to come over. We couldn't go to hang out at the mall or do things like that. It just wasn't going to happen. We didn't even ask.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it was like. It's like, I'm not even going to ask for what. So, and even now, when I go somewhere, I don't need to be the center of attention, but I know I'm the center of attention.
Well, you know,
You know
it's
what I
odd
mean?
that you would say that because I don't think alphas seek the attention. After all, we
No.
are the beginning of the Greek alphabet. We
Right.
are alpha.
We're
So
just there.
We're
just there.
So,
Music? There you
yeah,
go.
I just think that alpha females are just themselves.
Exactly.
Right.
We're not trying to be anybody, overrun anybody, overrule anybody. But I can run something if somebody needs a leader. Because
Right.
otherwise, a lot of people with no leaders, just a crowd.
Right. Our purpose isn't to show out.
No.
It's
Right,
just
right.
it
Just to
happens.
get stuff done. And
Yeah.
see, it's almost as though you're in a room and people say, well who's going to volunteer to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Just as I am the alpha to help try to resolve issues, I'm also that alpha that'll put my hand up and say, I'll volunteer.
See,
Right.
that's me. That's me.
Yeah, I'm
Or who
good.
has a question?
See, and I
Usually
have
never,
one.
I never want to volunteer.
Mhm.
That's
I
me.
do. I never have.
Not, I rarely did. Maybe it was just the job. I mean, maybe that's what it is when it comes to
Mhm.
what type of job it was. But
Mhm.
I didn't want to volunteer, and I already knew no one's going to volunteer, and I'm going to end up I'm going to get stuck with this anyway.
Somebody's going to choose
Right.
you. What you
Yeah.
say, Clara? Are you still on the line?
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but
Yeah, go ahead.
you know, sometimes volunteering, it puts you in a different light, and it's not that you're trying to take the notoriety of being out there. You want to help, but there are other people that don't receive it as that.
Exactly.
They just feel that you're
Exactly.
trying to grandstand or.
But they have
And you're just trying to get it done.
But
Right,
they have
right.
the
It's not
same.
like that. I think that we really think totally different. Some
Mhm.
people are take charge people. Some people are great thinkers and movers and can come in and work a whole dynamic for the whole thing and make things come together real quick. And that can be a problem for some other people.
Well,
that don't
usually
think
it
like
is.
that.
Usually it is for that beta female. You know, you have
Right.
the alpha female, then you've got the beta female, who is, for lack of a better term, somewhat of a lieutenant.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes.
it is her job as the lieutenant to the, I guess it was the general, whatever it is.
Mhm.
She sees to it that the alpha's premise of thought is carried out.
Mhm.
Believe it or not, there is a hierarchy here.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's kind of like
Mhm.
a military.
But yeah,
Seriously.
and there's some women, you know, because there's nothing wrong with being a beta.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
It's probably less stressful
And the thing is, and you have to have, it's like, you know, you need betas and alphas to
to come together
create
to be balance. Exactly.
Right, and you know, there's some women who they're great at it. You know, there's people who are personal assistants
Mhm.
and
I can beta my
Like-
tail off.
right, like
y'all.
consultants and things. You know, those to me are betas.
Mhm.
You know,
You
because
gotta
they're
have them.
yeah, they're like, okay, cool, I'll take care of this end over here, and you're good on that end. So
Mhm. Mhm.
no
And
problem.
But what often happens with alphas is that sometimes, you know, people or other women find it difficult to deal with them.
Absolutely.
And not that they're difficult to
Your
deal
feelings
with.
are
It's
not
just
my
that's
problem.
just your feelings, you're insecure, and you're
Right.
stuck in those feelings. And so, but like I said, an alpha female is just an alpha female. She gets stuff done. And more importantly, let me ask you this question, guys. Do you believe that alpha females are born or are they made?
From the womb.
I don't know. I have every reason to believe they're born, and then that part of them is nurtured over the years. Because especially in our family, we are women. Well, not so much anymore, but we were women heavy.
Can you roar that type stuff?
Yeah, I mean, we had mom had 4 girls. I had lots of cousins that were females.
Yeah.
And in a room, I remember my dad walking in, and there'd be conversation going on at the dining room table, and he would just shake his head going by. He was like, "How do you all know what the other is talking about?"
Because this is what we do.
But I said, "There's a rhythm to it."
Right.
There were so many alphas in the room, which also could create issues.
That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
talking
we'll
about
talk
that
about that
before we
later.
came on air.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I also think there were some, for lack of a better word, fake alphas.
Oh,
Yeah.
They really weren't alphas, but in order for them to
They fell
that
off.
proceed, remember what you said about being
They
right?
fell off. They couldn't handle it.
It's,
But
it's
you know,
pressure.
you-
It's really pressure to be an alpha.
It is. And you know, you sit there,
Expect so
you
much.
talk about the limelight. They think, oh, she's getting the limelight, so let me step up and act like an alpha. And
So-
it's like,
Claire, are you there?
Yeah, I think an alpha is really born.
You think
Mhm.
I
so?
think you can groom. I think you can groom someone, but it may be not right, a good fit for them. Maybe
Right.
it's too much pressure.
mm-hmm.
Now, and I'm not saying that to take anything away from them. They may do very well, but I think you are who you are.
Absolutely.
And I think
Some
experience.
people, I could care. You know, I'm not going to say I could care less, but it really doesn't matter to me as I've gotten older what a person thinks.
Mhm.
It's because I know who I am.
Well, Jimmy Avilas
So
agreed.
even if I take something
Yes.
and try to put all my best at it, and no one else sees it like that, I still feel that I know that it was my best. So I don't need to be validated.
See, and I've
And-
gotten the same way. Thank you, everyone who's
Yeah.
who's checking in. Benet Sandals,
Hey,
I
Benet.
agree. Born into it. Hi,
Hey,
Benet. How are you? Jimmy, thank you so much for checking in, Jimmy. And he said, agreed. There are fake alphas, and
I would like to have a man's opinion of it because see, usually,
especially those single fathers.
yeah,
Mhm.
I want to know, you know, if you're raising your daughter to be an alpha, or maybe you're purposely not.
Again, the question is it born, are they born or are they raised? Are they made? I believe, like what you girls just said, and that is that alphas are born, and I think that your alphaness is enhanced as you grow up. You take
Mhm.
experiences, you go through life experiences, you take
Mhm.
control
I-
of things, you run your life,
Right.
you control you control your family.
And that's
You
how
just-
I know
that's- it
from the
just kicks
womb.
in.
From
Right.
it, for me, it was from the womb, because when it came time, even being born, my mom has always said, when you were ready, you were ready.
That's
We've
it.
always been that way.
Mhm.
It was your time.
Mhm.
You know, she barely made it to the hospital on time, had her
Same
legs
here.
up, and boom, there it was, ready to
Same
go.
here, same here.
You know, and I've always been very vocal.
Mhm.
You know, but growing up, I thought I was shy, but it wasn't that. It's just, you know, how we're raised, that, you know, children are meant to be seen, not heard. I know how to follow direction.
We all grew up.
You know,
Exactly.
and that's what it was. Is that when I was told, okay, well, you got to be quiet. Okay, you follow the rules. There's a time and place to follow the rules, and I've always known my place.
Mhm.
I may not have realized it until I got older. You know, I didn't realize I was an alpha. But once I realized that, you know, everything was just
But
pretty
you-
much smooth
Absolutely.
sailing, because I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I get it. I know what I need to do and how I play this.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, but I also think sometimes in a cluster of women, alphas can be made. You know what I mean? You can have women that are not leaders, that are more passive.
Right.
Mhm.
An alpha's going to be, I don't want to use the word aggressive, she's going to be assertive. She's going to take charge, she's going to run it, she's got an itinerary as to how this can work.
Mhm.
And, you know, a lot of people don't want to take on that responsibility, so they help create an alpha at that
Right.
point.
Right.
Yeah.
To
And-
me, that
and-
means that you have that in you, though. You still have that.
Jimmy says that he would say both. Life
Born and
throws,
made.
Mhm.
yeah, life throws curveballs, and some women have to step up to the plate, and they fit the role very well.
Absolutely. Thank
There-
you, Jimmy. That's
Yeah,
good.
there is a time and a place, and that's what else we were talking about before we got on here, was how we know when and where.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, you don't always have to be in the lead. in a room full of alpha women, we know how to play our cards. We know, okay, you know what? Let so and so take charge for right now.
Right.
Go ahead and let them steer this, and then
We encourage that.
Absolutely,
Because you don't want to be singled out as the one who knows that the not told you. You think you know it all? No, but I know a lot.
right,
And if you know it, you're not afraid.
Right, that's
You're
right.
not afraid to speak on it.
right.
You know?
And so we know when and where we fit in, and it's fine. We have no problem with letting someone else have the reins.
That's
Right.
it.
We're fine with that because we know, okay, well, it's my time to rest up.
Yeah, and let somebody else.
Yeah.
But if you're not handling it properly, we will step back into the game.
Absolutely.
Again. I mean, I'll back down at some point because I can be a beta. I'm more alpha, but if I have to be a beta to fit in and get in, I'm not above doing whatever it takes to get the resolve to a certain situation.
Absolutely.
Right.
Now, if I have the answers and I am the expert, or I'm in the field and I know what I'm talking about, then I've got it. But if there's something that I'm not familiar with that comes up, I'm woman enough to roll it over.
Absolutely.
Especially if it's your area of expertise or if it's something that Daydream knows.
Right.
It doesn't take anything from me or doesn't dim my candle.
Right.
You know,
I think
just
that's-
like
I
in
have
order to light
absolutely-
hers. We're not insecure women.
No, not at all. And I absolutely have no problem with saying that I don't know how to do something
do.
or something's
Absolutely.
beyond me.
Mhm.
I have no issue with that.
I think that's
You know?
the nature of being alpha. I
Is it?
really do.
Right.
Well, I think on that tip, guys, we'll be right back. We've got to go to break.
Yeah. You are listening to The Bridge. Share your opinion by calling
Inviting
713-789-0096. Stay tuned.
Everybody go.
To prevent like the automated when they hack you,
Oh,
I got you.
Oh,
it's harder.
okay.
Yeah.
That makes
Look,
sense.
I'm like, okay.
Because I'm like you, I'm like, wow, I'm still going.
Mm-hmm. And people are like, get off your phone. I'm like, oh my God, I like people. Once you realize you're an alpha, you learn how to throw it around. I agree.
Who said that?
A Benet.
Yeah, we got to make sure you read that.
Yeah, I'll read it out. Thank you so much, Benet, if you're still listening.
See, I had to, growing up though, I had to learn how to Hirsch. Because I could be too alpha-ish.
See, I really had no idea, no clue. I was just, a little quiet nerd, stayed to myself, and then.
But anybody who knows me would say otherwise.
Yeah.
But that's because I think too, depending like you said, depending on the arena. If I don't know, then I'm like, y'all do you.
Right. See, I didn't know I was an alpha, but I was raised to be an alpha.
See.
That's the other thing.
What's them saying?
No,
Some music?
Mm-hmm.
She hung up. So you gotta know what somebody can do. Tell me already.
That's right, you hear that, right? Welcome back. You listen to All About You with OMG and Friends, where we do talk about the things that you think about. Again, I'm your host, OMG, along with my alpha female co-host.
Daydream.
Your health wellness warrior, Lord have mercy. Who am I?
And also, we have an alpha female who actually is running the boards right now. She runs the station, Evelyn Arrington.
Absolutely.
Basically, when you are an alpha, for whatever reason, I think people seem to think that you are less sweet. You are less feminine.
Right.
You
Right.
are less submissive or subservient. I don't think that that's true.
Absolutely.
I know not for me.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm that woman. I consider myself, especially at this stage in my life, to be a compilation of it all. I've gone like Jimmy Avila said. Life throws you curveballs. You learn how.
Yeah,
to,
there's a time and a place you got to learn to
gotta-
step up.
That's right, and we are where we are because of our choices.
Right.
So being an alpha has its advantages because for the first thing, she will not be challenged. We will challenge someone if there's something that we don't believe is accurate
Right.
or we don't believe is true. Now we are polite enough, I believe, to not correct someone in public.
Exactly.
But I'll pull a girl from
There are some
some,
that,
but some of them are crass. Some of them are
yeah,
very crass,
right.
and they want to make you feel bad. So they will tell you things in front of a cluster of
Exactly.
women, which is not the right way to do that.
Absolutely.
But I think that should be something. But I think Bené has said once you realize that you are an alpha, you learn how to throw it around. It is a power. It is absolutely.
I'm definitely gonna play that card, and I let it be known. Let it be known that I know when I'm running the show and how I want it run. And I let it be very clear that I run me.
Yeah,
Nobody is running
that's
me.
it. I can do that, and that's my goal is to master me. But I think an alpha, it's kind of like people know when she hits the room because she makes it aware. I'm in the room, and I will work the room. An alpha works the room. She knows everybody. Everybody knows her or him. In this case. But she doesn't need a man also to make things happen.
Absolutely not.
An alpha can do it.
And that's what's funny. You mentioned that because I was thinking of my husband. The one of, besides some of the obvious stuff that attracted me to him, but one of the things that made him very attractive to me was that he can handle my alpha.
Some men love it.
It takes a strong man to have a strong woman to be able to deal with and I don't even want to say handle because it's not about handling anybody. It's just knowing how to be with this person.
Exactly.
Just like an alpha male, the sweet, cute, helpless female
That's not what you need.
it's cute. It's cute for a short time, and then they get real tired of it.
Exactly.
Because they're having to literally carry the weight for everything. And so those women, people who are single, but he wants this, I'm just not that girl, I'm not helpless. No. He's wanting that for right now.
Yeah,
It's okay for right now, but it's not going to last very long at all.
And he wants to know that you're not trying to, I guess some of the guys say, we both can't be the man.
Right. See, being an alpha is not penis envy in any way. It has nothing to do with a man. Being an alpha female has to do solely with us.
Absolutely.
So it has nothing to do with the man.
Right. And see, when we were talking on break about, I didn't know I was an alpha. However, I was always raised to be an alpha.
Yes.
And it would kind of bug me because it's like, well, I don't want to do that. Like my mom always made sure that you speak up for yourself. You do this, go do that. And I'd be like, well, I don't want to go by myself. And you can do it. You don't need someone to hold your hand.
Right.
You'll be fine.
And that's how we are.
Right. And I find myself doing that with my niece because, like I said, we were raised to be alpha females. We were raised to be alpha females. But that's not what happened with my sister.
Oh, she's more beta.
Wow.
She's absolutely a beta. I'd say less than a beta. You want to get down to it. But she's not, and she has her moments, but it's all wrong. You know what I mean? Like she's not choosing her battles when she needs to be,
more selective about what she
absolutely. Like when it comes to dudes, she is so weak. And it's just like, okay, she's gonna go for that and follow along behind him, before she will her child.
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah!
Come on now. We've talked about this. So so we were raised in the same household. We were raised to be that strong, confident female. But that's not what happened. But she was always like that, even from the womb. She was,
that lazy one that came.
She was trying to come out. She was a breech baby, cross legs, hands raised up, real chill, real cool, and she's always been that way, just real, passive.
I think we are who we are.
Absolutely. So, it's not until we get older, or other people have to point out to us, well, hey, you've always been that way. And it's like, you're right. I have always been. I've always been. When I want to go, I want to go.
Absolutely. If you guys have an opinion about the alpha female, or if you have a story about an alpha female, please give us a call at 713-789-0096. And
Absolutely.
also, an alpha is going to be straightforward. She is not going to bite her tongue. She's going to give you the information that you need. And normally, alphas don't speak unless we are right. I know that's one of my things. If I speak on something, it's because I know that I am right. And if I'm not right, I won't respond. If somebody asks me, I'll say, well, I'm not sure about that.
Right.
But if I know it, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be straightforward with it. And so, again, that's not about...
Yeah, and even though we speak up, alphas will not speak everything that is on their mind. We know...
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We know to hold and just when to play our cards. And you've said it before, OMG. We've talked about this. Are you going to be a street fighter or a professional fighter?
That's right.
Professional fighter always you know.
It's about strategy.
Absolutely.
How you do
Right,
things.
right.
Street
Absolutely.
fighters, they're just fighting.
Yeah, thank you everybody who has been checking in and following along with us on the live feed via Facebook. Benet, Jimmy continues. Yeah, he's commenting.
Jimmy said,
And we have somebody new who's Selena Borns. I think an alpha
Hi,
female
Selena.
knows how to be an equal mix of strong and submissive, which is extremely attractive to the opposite
Absolutely.
sex.
She's right. That's
Men
what I
do
was
that.
Selena, thank you for that. That's where I was getting when I was saying that they think that because we are so strong, that we are
I
not
don't want to run the
sweet and
show.
we're not feminine. We're all those things.
Yes.
We're sweet,
Mhm.
we're feminine, we're submissive, even subservient.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when it comes to you. But when it comes to us, that's where we're alpha. We're alpha when it comes
Right.
to us.
Right.
Right,
And,
right.
and a lot of people would be surprised because when it comes to relationships, I'm actually very traditional.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Very
I'm
traditional.
one
You
of
know,
those.
I'm okay with that. I want a
I have
man.
no problems taking
That's
care
it.
of a man.
A-
Right.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I can have no problem with doing that. You know, I have no problem with you wanting to do that. Okay, cool. Better for me because I'm running the show everywhere else in my life.
Exactly.
So at home, I don't want to.
exactly.
You know, I know when I need to, but I'm okay with not. I'm fine with
and my
that.
husband, I think he may even say that was the thing I told him when he asked me
Mhm.
about us being together, things like that. It was so refreshing to have a man's man and someone
Yes.
that was going to call me on my madness.
Right.
Like when
Absolutely.
I said, when you out of order, and they look at you like you might be right, but you're a little out of order right now.
Yeah, you need to
so
bring
we
it
don't need
down.
to just
Yeah.
roll it back.
Yeah, right.
You need to calm
And so
down.
we know.
Right. So you know, so and being an alpha, you know how we do.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's exactly right. You know, and again, because we are alpha, we do not really wear it on our sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that will present itself when the opportunity presents itself.
Absolutely.
We're not just going to be
Absolutely.
out. Hey, I am woman. Hear me roar.
Right.
It's not that.
I say that's the true alpha doesn't do that. I think
Exactly. You
I
don't
think
have
it's that
to.
that for like I said, that fake alpha, that phony alpha that is always trying to you know
Always a perpetrator.
oh yeah
I
oh
don't
yeah
know, how do we tell a fake alpha? I mean,
Just
that's
the
kind of that would be
it,
kind of hard.
it comes just a lot to do with your class and with your swag.
mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like they say people who really
See,
have
fake
money,
is fake. That's
they don't talk about it.
That's
Right.
true.
You know,
That's true.
so the true alpha females, we don't need to let it be known. Hey, I'm the alpha.
I'm running
things.
it. Right.
No,
Not
we
necessarily.
just walk in.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what we do, no matter where we're at, whether it's a restaurant or if we're going, you know, out on a date, if it's in the office, if it's, you know, us just hanging out together, we just walk in. That's all we need to
And
do.
that's it. That's exactly
And
how
I
it
think
works.
it's almost like electric. You emit that from you because even when you're not, I always say even when an alpha is not saying anything,
She's talking out
there is
loud.
something
There's
about
something emitted
like you
from
say,
her.
it's their swag. It's something about
Mhm.
the energy
The way they
that
hold,
they're giving
the way
out.
we hold ourselves.
Mhm. And when you ask them, when you do ask a question, because just like you, I may be sitting in the cut. I've got plenty of answers for you,
Mhm.
but it depends on whether or not I feel like it's
I feel like
necessary.
engaging. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just
Right.
like, no, I don't need to let you know what
That's
the
why I
trick
said
is.
that's why I said we don't wear being an alpha on our sleeve.
Absolutely
You
not.
know, and so actually we're somewhat reserved with it, but you'll see it.
Mhm.
So
Right.
it's almost nonverbal. So like you said, walking in the room, an alpha will also work the room.
Mhm.
But I read somewhere that in a cluster of women, I don't know if I believe this, but I read it that in a cluster of women, you can always tell who the alpha is because all of the women, their feet will be pointing in the direction of the alpha.
Okay.
You know, so in other
Mhm.
words,
I never noticed that.
I never
never
did either,
noticed.
but
Now
I'm
you're
just
gonna
saying.
make me
But I
watch.
know, right? I'm gonna look at everybody's feet from now.
Where are your feet facing?
Yeah, right. You know, it's just something silly, but that's what they said. And there is an article that was written, and it says basically that society is creating a new crop of alpha women who are unable to love.
Oh.
I thought that was quite harsh. Oh my
No,
gosh.
it's not about being unable to love. It's just
But
that
this is the article that they're
Yeah.
coming out with to dumb us down and
Right.
make us feel bad
to make
about
it a
who we
negative
are.
thing. To make it a
Mhm.
negative thing.
Mhm.
And it's not.
Okay.
It's not. We don't know how to love. It's just
We're not accepting anything.
no, ma'am. Wherever there's an alpha female, she needs an alpha male.
Mhm.
We are not raising alpha males.
That's true.
That's the
Yeah, that
problem.
was a good point.
It's not that we're not looking for
That's
love
a
or
good
we're
point.
against love. It's he's not there. He's not ready yet.
Right. Right.
Yes, that's true.
He's
And
not
you know
ready
behind
yet.
every alpha man, there's got to be an alpha female. That's why I said that they kind of thought that she was an enigma or an alpha
Mhm.
female is some sort of legend. Nobody knows who she is, but
Mhm.
hell, we've always been there. We've been orchestrating the
yeah.
alpha male.
And I think
Absolutely.
too, a lot of times, the men that are out there, because of what society has called the alpha female, they don't even know how to approach us. They don't know how to have that
See,
conversation
that's
because they're
somewhat-
falling into that listening to what
That
other people.
mode, you know, because see, let me tell you something. I've never forgotten this. I had a gentleman tell me when I was selling custom homes, I mean high-end $800,000, $900,000 homes on the water. This gentleman told me that I wasn't needy enough.
I've been told that
I've been
before.
told that
I
before.
wasn't needy
From my
enough.
husband.
I'm like, what the heck does that mean? You know, that doesn't mean that I guess because I'm too comfortable with who I am, or I'm too.
You're not submissive enough.
I mean,
That's how I took it.
He needs to be a Superman.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and my response was, I'm not needy enough. Is that you're not man enough.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it was somebody else's husband, but just the fact that he said that to me, you know, and I was like,
That's why you're somebody else's husband.
okay,
and I'm not mine.
okay, but I'm just amazed that, you know, they feel like we have to. I think a partner should be someone that is of equal assets.
Mhm.
See, when one is a liability, then alpha has to stand up.
Right.
So if the man is doing his thing as the alpha male, then we know our role.
Mhm.
You know,
And are very comfortable with it.
absolutely we
Like
are.
you say, it's a refreshing change.
To have, yes, to not have to control
Yeah.
everything.
I don't want to control anything.
You know?
I'm a Taurus. I'm lazy. You know, I'm just trying to, chill and just ride the train.
But do you think
So-
that we are unable to love like the media says we are? Or
No,
believes
it's
we are?
just our perception or my perception. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to speak for all of us alphas, but for me, it's just different. It's just I need a man's man.
Right.
And
Yes.
I've said it before. If you can't do more for me than what my daddy can, then why do I even need to step out? Why do I need what do I need you for?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I still have my daddy. My daddy's the one who has shown
Show
me
me what a
What
what
man
I
should be.
deserve and what a man
Exactly.
should be. So if you can't reach that level,
Mhm.
or even have the potential to, you're trying to reach that level, then for what? What do I need to carry you for? Then I'm having to run things at home. I don't want
I gotta
to.
run you.
That's the last
Yeah.
place you want to have to run it.
I don't have kids. I'm not gonna take care of you like that. I'm not gonna raise you.
Mhm, mhm.
Selena says, not Selena, I'm sorry, Athena. What did she say?
Oh, that's
Chaos and confusion usually follows a fake alpha.
Mm.
That's
Yes.
probably true. Disaster and
Drama
drama.
queen.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Drama
Follows a
queen.
fake- Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're always the
listen-
loudest one in the room, and it's like I don't need to be all that loud.
That's that ghetto factor.
Yeah.
And Selena also said, to me, fake alphas exhibit bullying behavior.
Really?
Yes.
Really? I didn't
They
know that.
can.
How
They
do you mean?
can.
They
They
just,
can.
well,
Even
because
if
they're
it's
trying too
They're
hard
trying
to
to
be an
be good,
alpha.
yeah.
And
They
see-
need to belittle someone so they can feel better. Where we automatically know who we are.
right.
and
We
see-
know what our capabilities are and what our weaknesses are, and we embrace all that. Whereas, a fake alpha can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we know how to nurture.
And it's not
see,
an
that's the thing,
intimidating. It's
too.
not an intimidating thing. It's
And-
just us being women
Exactly.
and knowing, when to hold. when to
That's where that
fold.
media falls into play, where they have said that it's not that we just want to be the boss and this and that and the other. But you're right. We just want to be there. We want to help. We want to nurture. But it's a different place. It's not a nurture of I'm stupid. I'm gonna let you do it all. No, it's not that.
Right.
It's not that.
You know,
Right.
it's just kind of odd that people would think that a group of women could be unlovable or unable to love. I just find that hard to believe that somebody would even. And they're saying, like, again, society is creating a new crop of alpha women who are unable to
And
love.
in turn, we need to create a new crop of alpha men.
Right.
Mhm.
And I don't know that the new bunch, they're kind of crossing over. So hell, they're trying to be an alpha female.
Talk about confusion.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Athena says chaos and confusion. They're trying to be us.
See, like she said, the fake alphas,
fake
chaos
alpha.
and confusion. Those are fake alpha females right there.
Because you don't really have to bully anyone. I've always maintained
need to.
that if you are alpha, you don't have to bring anybody down to make your alphaness
Mm-mm.
bigger.
I don't need
See,
to
when
cuss
you
you
are
out.
an alpha, all your
Absolutely.
dogs are going, all your female road dogs are going to be alpha because that's who you are. You know,
Right.
you want strong
You're
women.
part of the same pack.
You want strong women to say, "OMG, I don't agree with that." You know, because
Right.
I know where to go if I want some beta women to say, "I agree." Okay, that's
Right.
cool. You're right. Yeah.
And you know what?
You know what? You just sometimes need somebody
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
I'm different with that.
Get off already. You know?
and
Get off already
mistaking
and give
the
me something
word
real.
agreement with correctness. Those are
Yes.
not the same thing.
No.
Not at all.
I can be correct about a detail, but that doesn't mean that everybody's going to agree with me just because
That's
I'm an alpha.
true.
But it did take me a while to
And I
embrace
agree.
that. When I was younger,
Uh-huh.
I was like, but no, I'm right. I would figure as long as I was right and I was
That's why I said, you
speaking,
heard me say earlier, I don't speak unless I'm right. That's the
Right.
same thing.
and
with
I would not understand
Yeah.
when people were like, no.
Yeah.
Hold on, we've got a caller on there. Carly, go ahead.
Hi, girls.
Hey, Gloria, how are you, Fly?
Oh, bless the Palace, baby. How
Okay,
you
then.
guys doing?
Doing
We're
okay,
doing great.
Wonderful.
Talking about that alpha female.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the opposite side of,
No, go ahead.
the alpha female, if you want to call it that.
If
was
there
an
is,
alpha,
if there- if
alpha.
there is such a thing.
Alpha.
Alpha 2.
Yeah, but these are the ones that think they're the greatest thing in smoking. You know, they do their thing at the detriment of everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
you
that
can carry
bullying.
the alpha thing
Right.
a little bit too far.
Right.
That's that bullying.
See, that's
Or
a fake alpha,
fake alpha,
that
right,
we're
right.
talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. That's a fake alpha.
Yeah.
But I don't, anytime that you have to demean someone else in order to make you look good, it's not an alpha. You know.
So,
But
yeah.
so, what is your experience? Have you talked to anybody that you know of our close friends that are pretty much that type of alpha, or that's where it's all consuming and all them, and you can't be I don't think you can be an alpha and you intentionally hurt other people. That's not what we do.
Right.
That's not who
You're
we
right.
are.
No, not intentional.
Not intentionally. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Because I know my words can cut, and I'm very direct, and I don't have a lot of grace and crass with some things that I say. But it's never to intentionally hurt. It's just
Mhm.
I don't know how else to express myself, so I'm just gonna say it this way.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. But we're also the ones that our friends will come to when they want the truth. It's like, I'm not gonna lie. I know that's why I'm coming to you.
Exactly.
I've had friends ask me that, and say I daydream. That's why I'm coming and asking you, because
So
I know
for-
that you're not.
So, Fly, tell us what are your feelings about the fake alpha, pretty much.
Well, I've had my experience with fake alphas, and one in particular that I'm thinking of, and that's I guess like Daydream said, it was a sister, and being a sister, you expect certain things from a sister or a family member, be it sister or cousin or whatever.
Mhm.
But when they take on the role of these fake alphas, they feel superior to anyone else in the family.
That sounds insecure. Really.
Mhm.
They chart their own,
Right.
they, like you said, they chart their own route. And sometimes it is at the detriment
Of someone else.
family and
Mhm.
friends.
Wow. I
You
guess
know?
that does happen, and families have all these different dynamics.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And so,
absolutely.
one can, I guess, go over the top and see themselves as being better than, or
And sometimes one alpha doesn't want to have there be another alpha in the room,
that's true.
and
so
that's
they have,
that's sad.
they feel like they have to. It's kind of like pit bull fights or cockfights. Somebody got to go down.
Yeah,
Somebody's
yeah.
got to go down.
Only one of us can
Right,
survive.
And so I think there's room for all of us as far as the alpha status, providing you are positive with it, and
Yeah.
the information that you bring and the personality that you bring is not overpowering or overshadowing or detrimental to anybody.
Right.
To me, that scares me, the fact that somebody could actually take that
Mhm.
to that level.
Of course, that's people have power issues.
Like our
Oh,
president.
Yeah, that's a fake alpha. Woo!
You say that.
He's way down there.
Wow.
I think we will be right back. Thank you so much, Gloria, for giving us a call, for tuning in. We will be right back after this break.
Share your opinion by calling 713-789-0096. Stay tuned.
I have a cramp from the biting.
That's switch down. I'm like, oh.
This is a gentleman's point of view. Keep this aside.
And you are listening to All About You with OMG and Friends while we are talking about hashtag alpha female. You know, there's 9 ways that you can tell who is alpha. Alpha females are social conductors. Non-alpha females are her orchestra. Wow, right? All females follow the alpha's social cues. Usually she's that person that's going to be, again, in the middle of things, in the power
On the
seat.
scene.
On the scene, yeah, but not necessarily, not that she cannot be dethroned or anything.
Right.
You know, but again, some people are more reluctant to putting themselves out there as an alpha, so they will allow other people to take that role on themselves. And all females follow that, like I said, the alpha's social cues. Also, when the female alpha leaves, a social vacuum is created. Now that I believe, it's like when I leave
Party's
the room,
over.
That's it. The party's gone home. You know, so you know, and then there are men. I'm curious about how men actually feel about alpha women, because as I mentioned earlier, when I reintroduced myself to you as OMG, as an alpha woman, it's almost as though we are intimidating to men, but that's the last thing we're interested in doing.
Right.
Is intimidating a man. So I'm not sure how to be an alpha. And what'd you say?
That's how we weed them out. If they scare easy, if they're intimidated, then you're not strong. You gotta go. You gotta keep moving around.
You know, a lot of them just feel like we're a lot of, difficult to deal with.
Yeah, we're on a high horse. We got a chip on our
trouble.
shoulder. We have a chip. I can admit I have a chip to a certain extent, but I know when you're on my level. And if you're not on my level, yeah, you're gonna see the chip.
Because again, the alpha is going to be intellectually astute.
Right.
You know, she's going to be
very intuitive,
conversive. Yeah.
And if you're coming with mess,
bye.
Just don't have time.
And like it says here that there are different degrees of female alphaness. Female alphahood is not like pregnancy. Either you are or you're not. It is more of a spectrum. Some women have a high tendency to be alpha. They enjoy social conducting, being the leader, and on the center of attention. Some women only like being alpha in their home, but not in business. See, I don't know how to change that. I mean, I am who I am all the time. I don't change in a situation. I can adapt. I guess I would have to. I guess I have somewhere in my in my past, and I'm still probably willing to in my future. But as it stands for now, I don't feel the need to have to decide when I'm gonna be alpha. I mean, if I have on jeans like now, and I'm still alpha. Nothing's changed. It's no different.
In my PJs.
That's it. I'm still the same girl.
My t-shirt.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
my chanclas on. I'm still
alpha.
Absolutely. I'm still gonna walk in the room and you're still gonna turn around and look. I mean, it might be because I look all crazy. Like, why did she step up an outfit like that? But you're still gonna notice.
Absolutely. And like I said, there will only be usually one female in a cluster of women, but there have been opportunities where there are several, and you've seen some of these reality shows. All of these women are alphas.
Or wannabes.
No, I'm gonna go with wannabes.
Okay, fake alphas, like Jimmy had said. Fake alphas. To where they feel like they have to call each other outside of their names in order to be alpha. I don't think that you should have to call another woman the B word and all these other things because she is, who she is.
And to take it back a little bit to what Gloria was saying, in being friends with these. There's always someone who's going to be a fake alpha, and the way I dealt with that is I just cut the friendship off. I was like, okay, Well,
see, I can't do fake in any capacity.
Well, because I didn't realize that. Okay, I didn't realize that I was the alpha female. Okay, but for her, she was the alpha. And
she felt threatened, perhaps that another.
That's
alpha
when it came down to, and see another alpha called it out, which was my mother. And said it from the jump. It's just like she's not a real friend. She's like, you need to be careful with her. She's very, she's actually very self. Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about? No, it's not. She's my best friend, and we're great. We're wonderful, and you just, she's different. It's just.
See,
you know,
you
I
tried-
thought that's what it was, and no, the whole
Your
time.
mom read it.
Absolutely.
Exactly what it
Once,
was.
once I saw it, man, it was a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, then of course you feel this small because it's like, hey, mama was right again, like how long ago?
Well, you know, just like, you know, again.
But yeah, but
mom
it had to
wisdom.
cut it, and that's what it ended up being. It was like, okay, well, all those little things, you know, kind of throwing like a temper tantrum because they needed to be the center of attention, and they always needed to one up somebody.
Kinda like you
Always
have
had to
upstage
one up,
someone,
and
yeah.
it's like, well,
That I hate. That I
yeah,
hate.
let someone else shine for a minute. Like that's fine. There's nothing
See,
wrong with it.
people
She couldn't
like I
handle
said,
that.
they can't light another candle because they feel like it dims their light.
Absolutely.
See, when you are bright and you bring the light, it doesn't diminish you at all to light another candle. You
What happens?
you get
What
us
happens?
up together.
What happens to that brightest candle? What do we do with that brightest candle? We feed off of it.
That's
We
right.
light the other
Exactly.
candles with
That's
it.
what we do,
Absolutely.
you know. But again, you have the alphas as the leaders, you have the betas as the sidekick or reinforces the alpha leadership. Then you have the news, the exact middle letter of the alphabet, and those are usually the fillers. But ladies, it is our goal to encourage you to become an alpha because at that point you will be more independent, more self-thinking, more confident, and you will be in control of yourself, which is ultimately what this is all about, being in control of oneself. But until next Wednesday at 5, we will have to bid you adieu.
Yes,
You have any
yes.
words to say? Next week?
No, just thank you everyone who's been following along on the live Facebook feed. Please make sure that you also take a look at our website and check out. We also have some shows. Some of the videos are up there if you've missed some of our past shows or want to see them again. And that is at www.allaboutyouShow.info. That is all about you, the letter U, show.info.
Excellent. And I will see you the next time with poison, potions, and pills. And talk a little bit about some
The
health and
pills,
wellness
the
on
big
that
thing
one.
now. All that's big topics there.